What should someone do if they're struggling to stay healthy on a vegan diet?
There are people that have an easier time being healthy with animal products than without them. There are a lot of people for whom that's the opposite, where as soon as they become vegan, they start feeling a lot healthier and issues clear up and they lose weight and their athletics become better. Great. But for some people that have a harder time with it, it's my belief that almost all of them can learn how to be vegan just as healthfully. But for some people, getting a variety of amino acids is a little bit more of a challenge because they actually have to source them intelligently. Because when you're eating an animal, the animal eats whatever a varied diet is and creates a complete protein in its muscle. And when you eat that complete protein, it breaks back down into all the essential amino acids. But if we're just eating, beans, legumes, the plant sources, that are mostly not complete proteins themselves, we have to make sure we have some variety of those. And if someone isn't paying attention to do that, they can start to get an amino acid imbalance. So for the most part, I would say learn more. And having a complete amino acid profile is one of the major things that matters for people. Also, long-chain fatty acids, specifically long-chain omega-3. In your flax oil and other seed oils, you're going to be getting a form of omega-3 called ALA, which is a shorter chain. The longer chain, EPA and DHA, come in meats because the animal synthesizes it, and in egg yolk. You can get those longer chains in algae and in algal oils. You can supplement with that. But your body can also convert it, but it converts it if your blood sugar is balanced. If your blood sugar isn't balanced, you have high resting insulin, it's harder to convert it. And for so many people that are eating a higher starch, carbohydrate, sugar diet, then it's harder to convert those things. And then for other people, hem iron is one of those other challenges. And again, there are vegan and vegetarian sources of iron that do convert well, and the B vitamins that are essential cofactors for the conversion of it. And so basically I would say study and learn about it, and almost everyone that I have ever interfaced with that was having a challenge with it, actually, to be honest, everyone that I have ever worked with who wanted to be vegetarian or wanted to be vegan for spiritual, ethical, moral reasons and was having a challenge with their health and they felt better when they ate some meat than not, when we figured out what was going on, what nutrients they were missing, and we figured out how to plant source those, they were all able to plant source them effectively. But to acknowledge the possibility that someone doesn't yet know how to do that, or maybe their body just can't, and I just want to be open to that possibility, then I'm not going to begrudge that person for eating an animal product, because if our goal is to minimize suffering, that means to the person also. Mm-hmm. And if they don't know how to not suffer, and I don't mean emotionally because they're craving it, because that's something that we can work with, but I mean physiologically, then what I would say is make sure that you are sourcing the things as ethically as possible, and that you're really doing the minimum amounts of those possible to really support you. And so if you can get by just with eggs from a local farm and you don't need to actually have a kill product, then the fact that you need some animal product doesn't automatically justify going to kill products. And if you do need a kill product and you find some, sustainably harvested thing, that doesn't mean go to factory farm things. And so I would just say, if you're in that place where you have an ethical care for the sentient experience of other life forms, and yet you don't know how to do it with your body yet, have compassion with yourself so that you don't have to shame yourself for just not knowing how to do it yet, and make sure that you also hold the lines of, okay, if I need to do this, that doesn't mean that I automatically do a bunch of other things, right? Because very often there's a black and white kind of thinking where as soon as we have a real justification for part, we end up leaking beyond that. And then the other thing is, do continue to work to progress in that area and educate yourself and see if you can get to where, hey, I needed that, but now I don't anymore. And it's been my experience that with right education and support from other people that know more about it, I have yet to find anyone that hasn't been able to do it healthfully.
Yeah, I feel like it's a journey for everyone. I know for myself, when I initially became a vegan, I ate a lot more processed food, and learning to eat more whole foods, more whole grains and vegetables and fruits and things that don't have a lot of other ingredients in them has really helped me thrive on a vegan diet.
Yeah, what someone replaces the meat with is a big deal, because if they were eating meat that was a lot of, say, pre-processed fast food, whatever, because they're not really in the food prep way of mind, and so now they're still doing kind of pre-processed, etc., that means that it's probably going to be mostly all grain products that they're replacing it with, and now they're doing a bunch of breads and cereals and pastas, and that does mean that they are likely to get unstable blood sugar, that they are likely to get amino acid imbalances, and it's just not a healthy diet. So the protein has to be replaced with other things that contain protein, right? Which is complexes of beans and legumes and nuts and seeds, as well as potential algae, sea vegetables, fresh green vegetables. And so moving to vegan healthfully usually also means a movement towards more whole foods.